Welcome back to Superbly Said Advanced English Vocabulary and Phrases.
Yeah, and we've got a really interesting deep dive today. It actually comes straight from a SpeakDuo lesson.
Absolutely. And you should definitely check out SpeakDuo.com if you want to, connect with people globally, practice English on video calls, meet new folks. It's great for becoming more confident with your English.
Definitely. And today, our goal is really to help you sharpen your linguistic toolkit, especially for advanced learners looking for that extra precision.
So let's just jump right in. First phrase, cave in to something.
Right.
This basically means to give in to pressure or temptation, to yield.
It does, but there's a nuance there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Compared to just agree to or maybe concede to.
Yeah, what's the difference?
Well, agree to can just be willing consent, right? And concede to might be more like a strategic compromise.
Okay.
But cave in,
Yeah.
that suggests you were resisting before, like really resisting, and then you surrendered maybe unwillingly because the pressure was just too much.
Ah, so it implies being sort of forced into it.
Exactly. Overwhelmed. You didn't really want to give in.
Got it. So maybe in a work situation, you could say the team finally caved in to the client's last-minute demands after realizing they couldn't meet the deadline otherwise. They probably fought it first.
Precisely. They were pushed into it. It shows that reluctance.
Okay. And maybe for an IELTS-style example, talking about habits.
Sure.
You might say, sometimes I cave in to eating dessert when everyone else is having one, even when I'm trying to eat healthy.
Perfect. It shows that internal struggle.
Yeah.
Then giving way to temptation or social pressure.
So it really highlights yielding under pressure. Okay, next one. Depend on something, someone.
Okay.
Meaning to rely on something or someone for support or function seems simple enough.
But again, let's compare. Think about count on or rely on.
Right. Similar.
Similar, yeah. Count on often emphasizes trust. I can count on you. Depend on it can include that trust, but it can also describe like a functional necessity. Someone just needs something else to work.
Like the project depends on funding. It's not about trust and money. It's just necessary.
Exactly. It covers a broader spectrum from personal trust all the way to systemic necessity. It's about reliance, fundamentally.
Okay, that makes sense. So work example, maybe for the presentation will largely depend on the data analysis from the marketing team.
Yeah, that works. Their input is crucial for it to function properly.
And for an IELTS type answer, personal reliance, I can always depend on my best friend for honest advice and support, no matter the situation.
Nice. Covers both trust and functional support in a relationship. Yeah. A really useful phrase for discussing reliance.
Cool. Let's move to a certain extent.
A very useful qualifier.
Definitely. Means partially, but not completely, within limits. How's it different from just saying, partly?
Good question. Partly or somewhat are fine, but to a certain extent often sounds a bit more formal, maybe more precise. You use it to qualify something. You're agreeing, but signaling there are limits or conditions. It's not a full 100% agreement. It often sets up a counterpoint.
Right, so it shows you've thought about both sides. Like in a meeting, I agree with your proposal to a certain extent, but we need to consider the budgetary constraints. You're showing partial agreement, but raising a key issue.
Exactly. It's a sophisticated way to hedge or qualify.
For IELTS, maybe about technology. Yes, technology improves life to a certain extent, but it also brings distractions and privacy concerns.
Perfect. Knowledge is good, hints at the bad, balanced. Essential for nuanced opinions.
Okay, next. Iconic. Widely recognized, admired, symbolic. What makes something iconic versus just famous?
Good one. Famous is just well known. Popular means lots of people like it.
Right.
But iconic, that's deeper. It has to be symbolic. It represents something bigger, a place, a style, an era, a person.
Like a symbol everyone recognizes.
Exactly. It carries cultural weight, often enduring significance. It's more than just fame. It's about shared meaning. Think the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, instantly recognizable. Not just a tower. It means Paris, romance, engineering.
Precisely. It's a shortcut to a whole set of ideas.
So for an IELTS answer about a landmark, without a doubt, the Colosseum in Rome is the most iconic landmark I've ever visited. It's absolutely breathtaking. It symbolizes ancient Rome.
Perfect use. It captures that symbolic, widely recognized status.
Yeah.
Helps describe things with real cultural value.
Love it. Now, a more modern one, social battery.
Yes. Very relatable for many
That's a
people.
metaphor, right, for your energy for social interaction.
Exactly. And like a real battery, it can run out, feel drained.
How's it different from just saying I'm tired of socializing?
The metaphor itself is powerful. Social battery makes the energy feel like a finite resource, something that needs recharging.
Right, you need alone time to recharge it.
Precisely. It validates that need. It's clearer than just tired. It explains why you might need to withdraw. It really resonates, especially, with introverts, but lots of people feel it.
Definitely. So, a personal example. After a full day of meetings and a networking event, my social battery was completely drained. Totally clear.
I just needed quiet time.
Makes perfect sense. And for IELTS, maybe about party preferences.
Yeah. Large crowded parties usually drain my social battery fastest. I prefer smaller gatherings.
Great example. It's a really clear, modern way to talk about social energy levels.
Okay, next phrase. Out of place.
Feeling uncomfortable, like you don't fit in.
Right. But how is it different from just feeling uncomfortable or maybe awkward?
Good distinction. Out of place specifically points to the reason for the discomfort. It's the mismatch.
Mismatch.
Yeah, between you and the environment or the situation or the people. That feeling of not belonging causes the awkwardness. The phrase highlights the lack of fit.
Ah, okay. So the awkwardness comes from being out of place. Exactly. It pinpoints the source.
So an example might be, I felt really out of place at the very formal gala, especially since I was the only one wearing sneakers.
Perfect. The sneakers were the clear mismatch, leading to the feeling.
And for an IELTS situation?
Maybe describe a time you felt that way.
The last time I felt out of place was at a highly specialized tech conference. I'm not from that field, so I just didn't belong in those conversations.
Illustrates that lack of fit with the environment or context very well. Useful for articulating that specific kind of discomfort.
Okay, on to acclimate, to adjust to a new climate environment situation.
Yes, often used for big changes like moving.
How does it compare to just adjust or adapt? Is it slower?
Often, yeah. Acclimate implies a more gradual process. Sometimes it's even unconscious, like your body getting used to a new temperature.
Yeah.
Adjust can be quicker, more conscious, like adjusting your watch. Acclimate suggests a deeper sort of settling in, both physically and maybe psychologically.
Like absorbing the new conditions over time.
Exactly, becoming accustomed.
So, an example. It took me a few months to fully acclimate to the colder weather and the fast-paced city life after moving.
Highlights the time involved.
And an IELTS example about moving.
Yeah.
When moving to a new city, I try to acclimate quickly by exploring local neighborhoods and meeting locals, actively trying to speed up the process.
Good one. Describes that process of adapting to significant new circumstances well.
Last one before the quiz. Fight or flight.
Ah, the classic stress response.
That natural reaction to stress or danger, confront it or run away. How is it different from just, say, a panic attack?
It's much more specific and biologically rooted. It's an automatic physiological response.
Okay.
Your body gets ready, heart pounds, breathing quickens, preparing you physically to either fight the threat or flee from it. It's primal, an evolutionary survival thing.
So it's deeper than just feeling stressed. It's the body's immediate go signal.
Exactly. An instinctual automatic reaction system kicking in, often before you even consciously process the threat fully.
Wow. So like, when the alarm suddenly blared in the middle of the night, my fight or flight response immediately kicked in.
Yep. Instant reaction.
And for IELTS, maybe about nerves?
Sure.
Public speaking used to trigger my fight or flight instinct, making me incredibly nervous, but I've worked on it.
Perfect. Explains the instinctual biological response to perceived danger or intense stress.
All right, great job covering those. Now it's quiz time. Let's see how well you've absorbed these nuances.
Okay, challenge accepted. And for you listening, feel free to pause if you need a moment to think.
First question. Cave into something most nearly means to. Option A, give polite agreement while planning to ignore the request later. Option B, yield under pressure and agree to something you tried to resist. Or option C, delay a decision so the other side gradually loses interest. What is cave into?
Feel free to pause the podcast here if you need to think about the answer for cave into.
Okay, the correct answer for cave into is option B, yield under pressure and agree to something you tried to resist. Remember that team caving in on the client's demands? That's the feeling.
Right, the prior resistance is key.
Next up, to depend on something someone most nearly means to. Option A, check with someone at times but act alone for major choices. Option B, admire someone's skills without asking for real help at work. Or option C, rely on something or someone for support, help, or results. What does it mean to depend on something?
Feel free to pause the podcast here if you need to think about the answer for depend on.
The correct answer for depend on is option C. Rely on something or someone for support, help, or results. Like how you depend on your best friend for advice or a project depends on data.
That functional necessity or trust.
Question 3. To a certain extent, most nearly means option A, partly, but not completely, within limits or up to a point. Option B, fully and without limit in every case and circumstance. Or option C, rarely at all, only in unusual or exceptional cases. What about to a certain extent?
Feel free to pause the podcast here if you need to think about the answer for to a certain extent.
The correct answer for to a certain extent is option A, partly, but not completely, within limits or up to a point. It's perfect for that partial agreement, like agreeing with technology's benefits to a certain extent.
Exactly, signaling those limitations.
Number 4, calling a thing iconic most nearly means it is. Option A, newly launched and praised by a small niche community. Option B, widely recognized and symbolic of a place, person, or style. Or option C, technically complex and hard for most people to grasp. What makes something iconic?
Feel free to pause the podcast here if you need to think about the answer for iconic.
The correct answer for iconic is option B, widely recognized and symbolic of a place, person, or style. Think of the Colosseum truly iconic because it represents so much.
That symbolic weight is crucial.
Question 5. Your social battery most nearly refers to. Option A, a list of contacts you can message for advice during the week. Option B, a schedule tool that fills your calendar with meetings. Or option C, your energy for socializing, which can feel full or drained. What is your social battery?
Feel free to pause the podcast here if you need to think about the answer for social battery.
And the answer for social battery is option C, your energy for socializing, which can feel full or drained, like after that long day of networking events drains your social battery.
That finite rechargeable resource.
Number 6, feeling out of place most nearly means you. Option A, do not fit the setting and feel uncomfortable being there. Option B, leave early to avoid the main part of the event. Or option C, get lost on the way and arrive later than planned. Feeling out of place.
Feel free to pause the podcast here if you need to think about the answer for out of place.
The correct answer for out of place is option A, do not fit the setting and feel uncomfortable being there. Remember feeling out of place at that tech conference because of the mismatch.
Right, the discomfort stems from not fitting in.
Almost there. Question 7. To acclimate most nearly means to. Option A, copy local habits exactly without knowing their meaning. Option B, adjust to a new climate, culture, or situation over time. Or option C, pretend to enjoy change while keeping things the same. What does it mean to acclimate?
Feel free to pause the podcast here if you need to think about the answer for acclimate.
The correct answer for acclimate is option B, adjust to a new climate, culture, or situation over time. It's that gradual process, like taking months to acclimate to new weather.
That slow adjustment.
And finally, question 8, fight or flight most nearly describes. Option A, an automatic stress response, confront the threat or escape. Option B, a slow planning method that weighs pros and cons. Or option C, a formal rule to debate before any decision is made, fight or flight.
Feel free to pause the podcast here if you need to think about the answer for fight or flight.
The correct answer for fight or flight is option A, an automatic stress response. Confront the threat or escape. It's that instant biological reaction when the alarm goes off or you face intense pressure.
That primal survival instinct. Wow, we covered a lot there. Exploring these phrases really shows how much nuance there is in English.
It really does. And hopefully understanding these helps you communicate more precisely, more confidently. These are tools, really.
Exactly. And don't forget, this deep dive came straight out of a SpeakDuo lesson.
Right. So you can get this kind of practice regularly on SpeakDuo.com. Meet people, practice English on video calls. It's genuinely effective for building confidence.
And SpeakDuo Premium offers even more unlimited practice, AI feedback to pinpoint areas for improvement.
Plus, that 30% discount on 6-month plans is pretty great.
Definitely worth checking out.
So head over to SpeakDuo.com, sign up, and start speaking with confidence today.
And keep an eye on your email for those daily quizzes and reviews to keep reinforcing what you learn here.
Yes, please do. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, if you found it helpful, we'd love it if you could leave us a 5-star review. It really helps other learners find the show.
We also have the SpeakDuo Ambassador Program, if you're interested in sharing SpeakDuo and earning something for it too.
So as you keep learning, think about this. How might understanding these subtle differences in meaning not just boost your English skills, but actually deepen how you perceive and describe human experiences and interactions?